it was really cool to be, in a scene with Stay-Puft marshmallow men, much like I think my octopus teacher taught us all just how intelligent, octopuses are incredible. Marshmallows, I've always felt, were the brightest of confections.
Paul, I'll start with you because I love the fact that in this film, Mr. Gruberson kind of occupies the kid's time by just showing him movies. He's a summer school teacher. He's just trying to buy himself a little time. If your parents were to buy themselves a little time and keep you occupied and stick in a movie that you loved back in the day, what would that be?
Ooh, probably a great question. Probably the Bad News Bears, maybe.
It's a great one.
Yeah, I'm totally part of the Bad News Bears generation. Maybe Ghostbusters. I was saying earlier, it was on TV all the time when I was growing up. So it was certainly something that was just part of the zeitgeist when I was growing up. Nobody was paying enough attention to me to put on any movies for me. So I don't have a good answer for that. It's okay. I'm a middle child of 5. It's fine.
Oh, well, they're paying attention now. You do such a good job in this. You joked yesterday at the panel that Jason had to talk to past directors to make sure that he knew you were funny. You're so good in your dramatic roles. Do you find yourself do you find that you ever have to prove yourself when it comes to some
yes,
comedy?
Absolutely. My family finds my career really mysterious because they don't think of me as this very lugubrious, dramatic person. I'm actually quite lighthearted. So my grandmother always wanted me to do, Born Yesterday. So this feels like more the direction they were expecting when they saw me launch into this career. So maybe it will invite a little bit more of that. So yes, I do have to keep proving it. Perfect. He made like 6 phone calls. It's crazy.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I'm writing down the word lugubrious because I think that's pretty awesome. And one of the best scenes in this, I don't want to give anything away, but a little bit is in the trailer. You have to tell me about the mini Stay-Puffs.
It's pretty funny when we're filming it and there's just a bag of marshmallows and the prop guy has like a pencil underneath the bag, to try and make it look like it's moving. But it was really cool to be, in a scene with Stay-Puft marshmallow men and knowing that this was going to be in a Ghostbusters movie. And, I was filming it thinking, oh, this is going to be something I think people will really get a kick out of, and it'll be nostalgic, and yet there's this new spin on it, and it was really fun.
I don't know if you've seen My Octopus Teacher. It actually made me rethink calamari. I feel like after seeing this movie, it actually made me rethink maybe how I treat marshmallows, the care with which I, use when I eat them.
That's the goal. Much like I think my octopus teacher taught us all just how intelligent, octopuses are incredible creatures. And I don't like to eat octopuses. I believe it is octopuses and not octopi.
I think you're right.
Because of that, for the same reason, marshmallows, I've always felt, were the brightest of confections. So I don't
Well, we should ask about the plural of octopuses, the woman who just used the word lugubrious. So we can ask her about that. Carrie, I love, in the movie, and I think this is so cool. You're a mom of 2, a single mom raising these 2 kids. And one of the lines about Phoebe, McKenna's character, is, I just wish you'd get in a little bit of trouble, which I think is really kind of a special moment that you guys have. What's the most trouble you ever got in as a kid? I'm curious.
Oh my gosh, I was such a good kid because everything I was doing was in secret. But we used to do a lot of jumping off of things you shouldn't jump off of. Oh. And then my brother fell out of a 2-story window and broke his femur. So that put him into that.
Oh my God, he's lucky, actually.
Yeah, he's very lucky. So in other words, we grew up on a farm. So we were just always really close to death.
Oh God, well, I'm glad you survived. Paul, what's the most trouble you ever got in as they wrap me?
I stole a watch from a garage sale once. It got slapped across the face. I made my sister, one time I was really little, made her lick the bottom of my shoe. I got in trouble for that.
Oh.
Yeah. I was a jerk. I was an older brother, and I don't know, I must have been 6.
Okay, we'll forgive you. Hey, congratulations, Paul. I know you're a big football fan. I hope you're enjoying our Cardinals season this year, and I hope the next one's in person, you guys.
Thank you so much,
Cardinals
Tara.
look
Take
good
care.
this year.
Finn, let me start with you if you don't mind. The fact that Mike had worn a flight suit before, did you honestly think that might be a deterrent to you getting this role?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely. I was convinced that Jason Reitman wasn't going to cast me because, I'd done Stranger Things before, and I had been in the Ghostbusters outfit before, and Jason said something really funny to me last night. I was like, I really didn't think you'd cast me because, just because of all it was such a big kind of like thing of the season, and I didn't think you'd want to like capitalize on that or whatever. And it did, and he goes, "You look good in the suit,"
Yeah.
which is really funny. And but it was really sweet. Yeah, I mean, I did the audition, and then I found out that it was Ghostbusters, and I was like, okay, well, he's definitely not going to cast me. But and then he really liked my performance and my audition tape, and that's, I guess, what mattered.
I actually would have capitalized on it too. So he was smart to
Thank
cast you
you.
regardless. I loved watching the trailer reaction video that you that was posted on YouTube after you got to see the trailer. And the line in the trailer, she's an awkward, nerdy kid. And you kind of looked at the camera and said, "Yep, that's me." What is the nerdiest thing about you, do you think?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like that's a better asked question for someone. I feel like I wouldn't be able to pinpoint it myself because I personally just think I'm an odd person.
No, you're like, you're like, you find, it's not upset. You don't have obsessions, but like you maybe you do.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think you do, but
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think like actually being kind of geeky, like I'm also a geek in a more awkward, I think, way, socially awkward way, but I'm also obsessed with things. That's, I think, like what it is. Like McKenna obviously was a giant fan of Ghostbusters. I was a big fan of Ghostbusters.
I always
No, you like animals and ukuleles.
My mom
and-
likes to call me a hoarder, but I say I'm a collector.
Right.
I just like to collect things. Honestly, I have I had a collection of like Ghostbusters things. That's what I loved to do. I had little ET like stuffed animals.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to put. I guess
You're
just
into
like personality.
games and bunch of
I
stuff.
mean,
Yeah.
I love, you know what? It's all perspective. I'm going to start calling myself a collector as well because people close to me think
nice.
I too am a hoarder. So thank you
exactly.
for that.
collector.
This is a collection.
It's a collection. I have to ask you the other part. There's so many great parts of this movie, but the scene where Carrie is kind of wishing of your character, McKenna, I just wish he would get in a little trouble. So for each of you, and McKenna, I'll start with you. What's the most trouble you got into growing up?
I think my mom's on the other side of that door. No, I've never gotten into much trouble.
You're kind of the perfect child.
Yeah, all of my friends.
Hmm.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to agree with that. No.
Yeah.
No, but you are.
Like,
No.
but like
I don't know.
you don't cause
I
a
mean,
ruckus.
Yeah, I
if you
tend
will.
not to. Most of my friends, that kind of annoys them because I get too stressed out to do anything. I like if my friends are trying to go and break a rule or do something, I'm like, oh, I'm too anxious. I can't do that.
So you are like your character. Your friends probably wish that you would get into a little
Honestly,
trouble.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Most trouble I ever got in. I don't know. I remember a lot of like Finn go sit on the stairs kind of thing. Like go time out.
I robbed a bank one time.
Yeah.
Counts?
Yeah, does that count?
No.
You got a big trouble there. No, I don't know. I think I
just got a slap on the wrist.
yeah.
We're all good kids.
Yeah, nowadays not much. I think if I do something wrong, I usually admit it.
We're the golden children,
Yeah,
we're good children.
Clearly.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you know what I did
Yeah.
that I actually got myself out of trouble for somehow. I went to this like convention with my friend when I was like 13 years old, and I bought like ninja star, like real ninja stars, and like real weapons. Like I bought, and they were like, and the what's it called? They
sold
people,
a 13-year-old
and they were like,
weapon?
they were like, oh, do you have your parents' permission? And I was like, yeah. They said it's fine. They're like, okay, and they just sold me like a bunch of weapons, and because I thought they were like, I don't know, I was like, oh, cool, like whatever, like Japanese weapons, and I start to, I hide them in my room, like not that I'm gonna ever do anything with them, but I hide them in my room, and I'm thinking to myself, like, just like kind of feeling guilty about it. I'm like, what am I gonna do with these? So one morning, I literally have my arms are full of like just nunchucks and stuff, and I dump them on my parents' bed, and my parents are like watching TV, and I go, just to let you know, I went to a convention, they sold me all these weapons, do what you want with them. And I walked out of the room, and I never got in trouble. So that's usually, I usually combat it.
Clean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
as we wrap, I must say, if I'm the store that sold you weapons, I'm also capitalizing on that, saying to everybody, I sold Mike from Stranger Things a ton
Exactly.
of weapons when he was 13.
Yeah, that was pre-Stranger Things. That was I think it
Yeah.
would have been very weird if I would have gone after.
Hey, congratulations. I hope the next one's in person, you guys. Thank you for this
Thank
film.
you.
It was
Yes,
just
thank
great.
you so much.
I'm Tara Hitchcock from Arizona. Celeste, I had the pleasure of talking to you for Freaky. And Logan, it's a pleasure meeting you. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you very much.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. I'm going to start with Logan actually, because I know this is your first big role, and I was listening to the Comic-Con panel where it was made public that your first stint was in a FedEx industrial video. So I'm curious, what did you take from that performance that you could bring to this film?
Well, my exquisite performance in my FedEx training video. Let's see. I was reading on a teleprompter, and I remember I have to have emotion. And so I think I carried that emotion throughout my whole acting career. I remember taking acting classes, and I mean, that was like my first actual job too. So I was really stoked to have it. I was like, yes, I'm going to do this thing, and it's going to be awesome. So I think it taught me to not take things for granted. I think even though it was like, you know, a small training video, I still had a lot of fun with it. And it really reminded me of the joy of acting.
Well, I rely on FedEx, and hopefully they'll get a nice little plug out of a couple of your interviews in light of your first big part. Celeste, I don't know where to start with Lucky. I heard that you almost passed on this, that story of you studying for an exam. I can't even imagine. How close were you to saying no? Or just saying, I don't have time?
Oh my God. No, I mean, that's real. You know, juggling a lot. And I think the last time you talked to me, I was still in school too. So
Yep.
it was only because I had no idea what the project was. You know, I got the audition and it said teen girl, untitled Sony film. So I had no idea. But yeah, thank God. I'm so grateful to be here. So
Well, you knocked it out of the park. There's a scene in here where Carrie says about McKenna's character, I just wish you would get in a little bit of trouble. I'm curious, Logan, what is the most trouble you've ever gotten in as a kid? You're still young.
I've been a pretty good kid.
Yeah.
I have not really done too many bad things, I'd say. I haven't stole a car or killed anybody. But I think I remember I went to Six Flags one time, and I was at the gift shop, and I had my Green Lantern cape on, and it was over my shoulder, and I took a car and I stole it. So that's probably, yeah, I know. Don't arrest me.
We won't. We'll forgive you for that one. At least you came clean.
Right.
Celeste, how about you? Most trouble you ever got in as somebody young?
honestly, I don't know. I think I've been a pretty good kid too. So I think that the stealing of the cars in the movie was probably the baddest thing I've ever done.
I love the fact that this whole movie is really about kind of finding where you came from and understanding those who aren't with us anymore. And I'm curious, Logan, I'll start with you again. What is the coolest thing that you own or have that was passed down from somebody who either is still with us or no longer with us? Something that means something to you.
See, my dad has this like sticker collection, and he has all these, stamp collection.
Yep.
And there's all these old stamps. And they go back to like 1940s. It's super cool. Honestly, I thought that was one of the coolest things. I mean, he also has his own yearbook where he was as young as me. And it's weird to see him like that.
Yeah, my dad travels a lot. So whenever he travels, he brings back like the currency from the country that he's been to. And so he like always gives me those like dollar bills from like Turkey or like Morocco or Ecuador, all of these different places. And I think that's the coolest thing.
You've talked about one of the reasons you wanted to do this was it gave you an opportunity to get to know your father and what he was like during that time when he made his film.
Yeah.
What did you learn about him?
Oh my God. I mean, it was amazing because, I'm right around the age my father was when he made the original Ghostbusters, except this, I had him on set. So it was this incredible asset. We could look at two different colors slime and I'd bring my dad over and say, all right, which one is the color of the 1984 slime? He could like point to it. I mean, I don't know how else you could have that kind of asset on set, and just the experience of being able to create something with my father, to look on the screen and to see both of our names up there. It's the experience of a lifetime.
I know that you guys have been emotional, and I'm sure there were many moments on set that got emotional as well. But what was the moment in your film that you were really excited to have him experience and even see when it was all put together?
I mean, for my father, I think to see the equipment back in action, to see the proton pack firing up again, but more than anything, it's to see the guys again. It was to see the original Ghostbusters back on screen, standing next to each other. That meant the world to him. This is a film that has defined my father, and it's been obviously intimidating, but a thrill for me to be able to pick it up myself.
Oh, and you did such a great job. I don't want to give anything away. Obviously, Harold no longer with us, but you honor him in so many ways. His presence is felt throughout. I'm curious if his family has seen the finished product and what was their reaction?
I'm happy you asked that. The first person I ever showed the screenplay to was obviously my father, but the second person was Erica Ramis, and the rest of Harold Ramis's family. I grew up with Violet Ramis. We're at the same age. We grew up on these sets together. They read the script, they watched the movie, and this movie is as much for my family as it is for the Ramis family.
Yeah, I thought about them often during it and just how you handled it. This is one of those movies where if I'm in the movie, I am either stealing something from the set, asking your permission if I can have it. Did any of the actors just really go hard at trying to request keeping something from this set?
Everyone wants to go home with a flight suit. I think that's the thing. And I had multiple requests, and you're not officially allowed to keep one, but it's the kind of thing. Maybe you bring a duffel bag to set on the last day.
Yep, and then just don't say anything.
Exactly.
I have to bring up, there's a little bit of it in the trailer, but obviously one of the absolute best scenes is Paul Rudd at one of those superstores with those mini marshmallows, the Stay-Puft minis. What was that like to recreate something and just really make it your own? It's so good.
I will never forget the moment that Gil Kennan and I came up with the mini puffs, and we thought, how do we top the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man, one of the greatest creatures ever created in cinema? We're like, oh, what if we made him tiny? And what if they were like little 5-year-olds who just wanted to break everything? And it just came to life, and then we just wanted to see them everywhere.
I have to ask you also about Finn. He mentioned that he actually had a Ghostbusters suit on in one of the Stranger Things episodes.
Right.
I thought maybe that won't work in his favor. You a Stranger Things fan? Did that actually work in his favor? Did it matter?
I absolutely. And look, Finn looks great in a flight suit. I'm not turning that down.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Listen, congratulations again. I want everybody to see this on a big screen. And just from me to you, I hope the next one's in person. And I just thought it was great. Had a grin ear to ear from the moment it started.
Oh, that
Congratulations,
means the world
Jason.
to me. And I hope the same thing. Next time in person.